What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Hope you're doing well today. What a momentous occasion in the MX Bikes community. We have got the most popular track in the entirety of MX Bikes. It has been remade by the OG creator himself, Mr. Fat Muppet. You are looking at Walnut V2. Now, it's worth mentioning at the beginning of this track is on the shop. I don't want to hear all the dramas in the comments because I know it's going to come. However, this is going to be such a big upgrade. People have been waiting absolutely months for this at this point. And before we even get to the track part, you can just tell, like, visually, in environment-wise, it's already looks so much better. The 3D grass on this is 3D grass, and it's hitting very, very lovely. So let's just take you on a bit of a flying lap, really, to see how it changes. So we come down the start here, we turn left as we always do. We now have little bits of rough as well, a little bit of chatter and some ruts into this corner. So I would already say the track's been a huge upgrade compared to in the past. We hit a little step up, a few rollers up the hill, we turn right. We don't do a step up now into a tight 180 to go back down the next straight. We instead do a right 90. There we go. Little step down into this right here. That inside right looks very, very sexy. I think that's going to hold you really nicely. We end up probably sending this if we can. We'll try and downside this bump right here. We have another double into the corner here where you can choose to either go outside or middle. I think inside might slow you up a little bit too much, and then up and over this triple kind of step up-ish looking jump here, but a triple nonetheless. Inside or outside here, inside used to be really, really OP, although now there's a roller there. I feel like it might be a little bit more even because the inside roller will slow you down a bit. A few bumps to slow you down before you hit this more tabletop. We won't call this one a triple, even though there's a little lump there. Down the hill we turn right. Ooh, that looks, the environment on this track is stunning, by the way. Looks really, really nice. And then we come around to the right-hand side here again. This used to be quite an inside dominant corner. I imagine this will now turn to outside, just so you can carry that momentum for the next straight. We have got a tabletop, which I wonder if you carry enough speed around here, if you can end up downside in this and then doubling out. That'll be interesting to see. And then instead of the usual just one long straight into a few massive jumps, we now hook a right, triple step up, drop back down round to the left, and then another double, back round to the right. I like the look of this route where it's not just one smooth semicircle. It's actually got like a bit of a hook into it, or hook out of it, I should say. Cause you to slow up a bit on the exit there. And then again, oh, I wonder, do you reckon that's doable? Do you reckon that's doubleable? Probably not. I reckon he's probably shaped the face of the jump just enough so you can't, unless you can try and take off on the far left off the side. I don't know. We shall cross that bridge when we get to it. Round to the right here, long sweeper before you double down. Single, double again into another left-handed sweeper. A little inside roller there on the exit with his own custom stakes as well. Looks very, very pretty. Double up the hill, round to the right, and then I believe this will be your finish line right here into a long kind of whooped out rollery section rather than the usual like double along here, or no, tabletop double. And that right there is a lap of the new Walnut. Already, I love it so much more. It's got a little bit more character to it, a bit more life rather than the smooth track that everybody loves these days. And who knows, maybe I might actually want to play this in public lobbies now, because it will actually be a little bit more of a challenge rather than just wide open everywhere. But we're going to see how it rides. That is the most important thing. We're rocking the KTM 450 today. We haven't ridden it in the last couple of videos, so it's nice to get her out on the track again. So without further ado, let's spin some laps, and I'm praying it rides as good as it looks. Right, riding over to the right-hand side here off the spawn, we actually have a track entry bit. I don't know if this was always on the last one, but I've always had a habit of just going to the left and joining on the start straight. But we can now join the track right here as well, a little break in the fence, which is nice. Is there actual... where do we actually get on the track? I mean, I've probably just missed it. You probably had to turn right or something, but let's just filter our way through here. Oh, let me do a test. Do these have collisions? No, they don't. Okay, so you can be a little bit naughty. You can ride through some of the objects if you need to. I suppose that's more of a safety net than anything. So we've got a big double, triple up the hill with a nice bounce. I didn't expect that. I thought I'd just be going double, single. Little step down. I want to try and get slotted into this inside rut. Lovely. Try and carry some speed downside that bump I was talking about, which you can. And these are my first laps of the day, by the way. So if I'm riding like a little bit of a goober, I do apologise. And then this triple up here, I need to check up a bit. I felt like I was going to that way too quickly, but, you know, a lot of people, when they ride these tracks, their bike of choice is 250 rather than 450, because most time it tends to be like beginners / intermediate riders on the game. So I'm hoping now we'll get to a point where some more of the faster boys can like really enjoy the track as well. I've seen recently people have been trying to hot lap like Walnut again. That seems to be the thing, is people hot lapping like the easier tracks, and I mean, all for them, but after I was hot lapping Forest, I'm kind of all hot lapped out at this point. Okay, double. No, that's not going to be doubleable. I think even if you're around the outside there, nowhere near enough speed to be getting up and over that. And it's more so the face of the jump that he's built, so it's quite a shallow takeoff. It's not super steep. So he's done a good job there at stopping a super disgusting, unrealistic line. Go around. Oh, go around to the left. There's a little bit of sand in that corner there. That's interesting, because the track decals are exactly the same as the bits of the track that aren't sand. So you saw around my front end tried washing. That's because I had a lean angle that suited soft soil, and then I suddenly hit a bit of sand, which ends up being too much of sand, and then it tried going on me. So worth mentioning that, worth being a little bit careful. What's the inside like here? Actually really good. I would say the inside might even be the best line there, because you kind of cut off a lot of the track. You're limiting your distance, which is a good thing. And then down, up on the pegs, railing this right. That right is so nice. Holds you really well. Lots of speed. Downside this. And so far, track is still actually really, like, straightforward. It's really easy. So, oh, God. I wouldn't say as... Have you noticed a recurring pattern on this track? Whenever I say that a track's straightforwards or easy, I crash straight away. That crash was trying to carry a bit too much speed. But yeah, the track is still actually really straightforward. So if anyone was concerned that he's made the track too difficult, don't worry about it. The bumps that you see here, they are more just like speed checks than anything. I mean, you could probably ride through it just with one hand. It's not going to cause you a lot of stress trying to get through it with the bike kicking out all over the place. And the jump faces are built very nicely. I'm a big fan of that. I am wondering, looking at the faces of some of these jumps, you'll notice how like the edges of the jumps are built up. So I wonder if you can almost be a scumbag and do what we did in GPs, which is like ride high and then scrub super low like that. I wonder if the lap times will still count, or if he's been really strict on cuts. We'll find out when we get to the finish line. We'll send this bad boy double, single, double. Right, got to be careful here again. Where does it turn to sand? It didn't turn to... Hang on. Was it just on the outside, or did I literally just get leant over too far and the sound was my pegs dragging into the floor? The sound was my pegs dragging in. Okay. Oh, I'm such an idiot. Yeah, the sound was not sand at all. It was actually me leaning over so far that my foot pegs were dragging into the floor, and it was the sound of that, like, rubbing into the ground rather than the sound of sand traction. They sound very similar. I do apologise. So, Mr. Muppet, please don't hate me. Please, I hope you haven't already commented hating on me. But yeah, it's not sand. There's no sound on this track. Ignore me. Which is good, because I hate when people do that. It's just something. I don't know. It's a pet peeve of mine. I wouldn't mind when people add sand, like bits of sand here and there on track to slow you down, if it was visually different, so I could see where it is. Because it happened in GPs as well at Argentina, where there was I think it might have just been one corner, it might have a couple of corners, where there was bits of sand dotted in here and there to slow you down. However, it wasn't the entirety of the corner. It was just in patches, and it also was exactly the same colour as the rest of the dirt on the track. So you had to basically just memorise where these sandy bits were. There was no visual cue at all, which, as you can imagine, if you've got your bike cranked over at a certain lean angle for the soft soil, and then you suddenly hit a patch of sand, you're just going to crash every single time. So it just forced like this almost unnecessary level of tiptoeing around the track, which was quite frustrating to deal with, especially if you're like in a heated battle with someone, you're racing, trying to push as hard as you can, and then you kind of get sniped by a random patch of sand out of the blue. It can be quite annoying. Let me cut down here, take this little roller. Yeah, 100% no sand there. I would have felt it. At that point, I was going really quick. Then we triple our way into these rollers. I don't know if it's possible to quad. Then you can go double all the way into the corner. I kind of want to get that inside rut. I think that inside rut's going to be much quicker. Down over this rough. And then, of course, if you're someone that struggles with your ruts, you can just ride all the way around the outside in some of these corners and make your life easy. Open the corners up for yourselves. Stand up, drop down here. Going to get back into this inside again. This inside seems very dominant. I don't see much of a reason to take the outside in that corner at all. And then we'll jump our way through. I want to try and get back to this inside again without crashing, which you can, no problem at all. Little tossing it for the fans, up and over. Track has a really nice flow to it. Lap times are quite short. I think not as short as the original one. I think people were getting down to like 1:14-ish, something disgusting like that on the old version, which is purely, well, it's a combination of a few things actually. This track layout is a little longer. It's kind of got one extra back and forth compared to the last version, and at the same time, we've now got some brake and bumps mixed in here. We actually have ruts rather than you being able to just drag bars and flat track everywhere, which I like. It I just think it makes tracks flow so much nicer when there are little bits of ruts here and there. It makes you feel like you're playing a motocross game and you're not playing GP bikes. You're just dragging knees around corners everywhere. I mean, these few corners right here, they're pretty damn wide open in themselves. But take that and times it by 10 more corners, which is basically what the last one was like. And I think when it comes to racing tracks, they're not fun unless there's some sort of separation in there, at least for me. Some people do enjoy just taping the right trigger down and going for it. But for me, I like there being some ruts and bumps, so there's at least something that you can do different to other people to try and gain time. When the track's completely flat and you're all just holding it wide open, apex to apex, there's not really much more you can do. You just kind of have to hope that you don't make one single mistake, because you're not really going to be catching the time back up if you and someone else are very, very equal speeds. But yeah, tracks like this, there'll be mistakes forced here, there and everywhere. Maybe not as many, because again, the track is still quite straightforward, but it flows so, so nice. The texturing job on this as well, beautiful. I'm hoping YouTube does it some justice, because the track texture is a little bit on the grainy side where it's higher detailed, which means, you know, YouTube video compression is going to be a pain in the bum, but I hope that it's not too bad and I hope it does it justice. Or alternatively, go and buy the track yourself and play it, and I imagine you'll have a good time. So I think very big brain move from Muppet doing this as well. I think some of his older tracks were due an update. It wouldn't even surprise me to see his next project being like an updated Farm 14. Reason being is he pops by my streams every now and then, and I think I asked him before, would there be like 40 gates on here, because tracks in the past had 24, and his response was yeah, and basically he just didn't expect his tracks to be as popular as they were back then, which is why they've got 24 gates, which the irony in that is so funny, since both Walnut and Farm, I believe, outside of stock tracks, are the most played tracks in the entirety of the game, and have been for years at this point. So to now have a version with 40 gates on it, which we can probably get a little bit of fun going on the streams, I think will be good. Now, I'm curious to see how many people will be buying this, because as we know, track is an absolute fan favourite, but as we also know, there's a little bit of a divide in the community still, after how long's the shop been out at this point? Like 2 years? Might be longer. Yeah, there's still a bit of a divide in between paid and unpaid tracks, and I always see exactly the same arguments every single time in the comments saying there should be free, these tracks should be free, blah blah blah. You don't deserve anything for free. Let's be honest, that's not a direct attack at you, that's a direct attack at everybody. Is nobody deserves anything for free in life. You know, you work for it, or if you didn't work for it yourself, you pay for it, essentially. That's kind of how it works, I'm afraid. And I would just leave you all with this one thought when it comes to the people that moan about paid tracks. If the track wasn't paid, it wouldn't have been made in the first place. So you're still not going to get the track. You either pay for it, or it doesn't exist, is the long and short of it. That's I don't know how else to word that. But yeah, if it wasn't paid, nobody would play it. If it was paid, the people that pay for it will get it. I have no other way of wording that. But yeah, it is what it is. I'm happy to be playing stuff like this. I think it's very good fun, and I'm absolutely barking my way around the course right now. I think I haven't watched it yet, but in Discord I've already seen like a cam thumbnail of Walnut Hot Lap. I have no idea what the time was, so I'm probably like 5 seconds off knowing me, but it's actually it's good fun. It's really good fun. On a 450 I seem to be barking my way around the course. I am having to check up and scrub a few things quite hard, which tells me that it's probably going to be really fun for the 250 riders as well, and you can probably have a good time around here on any bike all the way down to a 125. It really wouldn't surprise me. But the biggest, I would say, upgrade from the original Walnut is from a visual standpoint. Just the texturing job, the 3D grass, all the models it's got dotted around everywhere. It's a really good job, well done. And that's basically just years and years of practice from Fat Muppet now being implemented into updating this. You know, I feel like, I don't know if Walnut was his very first track that he ever made. I should probably have gone digging through the old time capsule and checking that out. But regardless, whatever order it was in, it was very early on in his track building, let's call it career. So yeah, you can imagine you've gained a lot of skills, a lot of knowledge over the years, and it's now been implemented into this and creating a very fun, flowy, updated track for all of us. So yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do title-wise for this video. Maybe like the most popular track MX bikes got an upgrade, etc. We shall see. But either way, this has been good fun. Ripping around here for you today. I would definitely recommend giving this one a try if you're getting a little bit bored of your standard walnut. And yeah, that'll wrap it up for me. Really good job, well done. Very, very fun track. Looks good, rides good. I need a third. Things come in trios. Smells good. Thank you very much for watching. Please drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new, all that lovely stuff, and have a lovely rest of the day, wherever you're up to. I will catch all of you in the next video. Peace.
Lynn's in the zone, never backing down. Riding MX bikes, he's the talk of the town. 2022 champ with the YouTube crown. His game is tight, no signs of slowing down. Late nights, bright lights, he's chasing that fame in the digital arena. Writing his name, she's a 10 out of 10. Supporting his lane, hairline might receive, but his passion's the same.